Now we turn to number 2 in our series, looking at the story of Joshua. This is called Surprised by Grace. Interesting story that doesn't really involve Joshua very much. It's the story of Rahab, the prostitute there in Jericho. You remember the story, how the spies come, they find lodging there with her. Maybe it's a good place to find out information, whatever the reason. She hides them because she knows that the king and the other people of the town would not want to have these Israelite spies among them. And when she's confronted with this, the king's messengers come and say, "Where are these spies that have come in? You are reported to have harbored them." That would be the way to say it. She's already hidden them up on the roof under bundles of flax. And why? Because she has told them, "I believe in your God. I've heard about what's happened to you. I've heard about these amazing things that God has done for you, and I trust in him." And she makes them promise that when the time comes for the attack on Jericho, that she and her family will be saved. It's a very interesting story. You look at it and you say, well, what exactly is going on here? And why would God have such grace towards this woman who we would dismiss as a fallen woman who really shouldn't have played any great part in the story of salvation, and yet she becomes one of the ancestors of Jesus? It's an amazing story, isn't it? So let's pick it up and look at it a little bit. They go to the house. The king says, "Hand over the men who came to visit you and stay in your house, for they've come to spy out the whole country." What does she say? She says, "Yes, it's true, the men did come to visit me, but I don't know where they were from. I didn't know where they were from. They left at sundown, just as the gates were closing. I've no idea where they went. If you're quick, you can chase after them and catch up with them." A bold-faced lie. I mean, really? And she's commended. Ellen White calls her faithful Rahab. Is it faithful to tell such lies, blatant lies? Yes, it was a question of life and death probably for those spies, and maybe for her too, if she was found to have been harboring the enemy. Is it right to ask those kinds of questions? Well, maybe not. Maybe we have to simply say the culture was different, or her understanding was different. She seems to have been quite happy to misdirect the king's messengers. But the real reason for doing all this, she says, "We've heard how the Lord dried up the waters of the Red Sea before you left Egypt, and what you did to the 2 kings of the Amorites east of Jordan. When we heard all this, our courage melted away. Nobody had any fighting spirit left because of you. For the Lord your God is God of heaven above and the earth below." What a great testimony of faith from this, quotes, pagan prostitute. A great story for us to look at and say, well, if she could come to that kind of position and she could be saved, well, maybe God can still take care of me too, because we all have our sins, our faults, our failings. The important thing is to acknowledge God and to trust in him, just as she did. She says, "Now promise me in the name of the Lord that because I have acted in good faith to you, then you will do the same for my family. Give me some sign that I can trust you, that you will spare my father and mother and brothers and sisters and all who are part of their families, that you will save them from death." And the men reply, "Our lives for yours." and she helps them to escape, and then even misdirects everybody who's looking. She tells them to hide up in the hills for a while and then make their way back. And yes, indeed, she and her immediate family are saved. That part of the wall doesn't fall down, and they are taken into safety by the Israelites. It's an amazing story, a challenging story for us, I think. It doesn't endorse the whole idea of lying and misrepresenting. I would want to say that very clearly. But most importantly, it shows that even this pagan woman living in Jericho could come to know the Lord and to trust in him to save her. Now, there's an example for all of us.